Hey guys, Frank Procopio back here with another video on investment property, and today we're going to talk about leases. Over the years, I found people on both sides of the fence about having leases or not having them. Especially working with a lot of sellers at this stage in my career, I typically find that my older sellers do not have leases. They operated on the mentality that when they wanted to tell somebody to get out, they were going to tell them to get out. There was, even though they still had to legally provide 30-day notice, they wanted to be able to terminate that relationship whenever they wanted. It gave them power or control. But honestly, it was the complete opposite. As much as I respect their opinion, and I now have to work around it by getting estoppels or getting on new leases when we're selling these, because let's be honest, the bank needs it. But that's a whole other topic. I'm going to break this down as blatantly as possible. It's like going to Vegas for the weekend, marrying a Vegas stripper, and not having a prenup agreement. Why would you not have a lease to protect your investment? It outlines all the stipulations between you and your tenant for who is responsible for what, to the rental amount, to when they'll pay, how they'll pay, when they'll pay. When you are moving a tenant in, you should be not just handing them the lease, but going over the lease in detail so that you and the tenant have an understanding of outlines and expectations. I mean, it's all about, we've talked about before, creating realistic expectations. I have a rider that goes in mine with further rules and regulations that I explain, getting as detailed down to as if they have basement access or attic access, because you go to evict somebody and they were a hoarder and they filled up your basement, it's going to cost you a couple $1,000s for a clean out. I mean, seeing things over the years, as a landlord, you start to modify your lease to include these things to protect yourself. Even who the appliances belong to. I have seen people move out, take the appliances. There was nothing in the lease, and the cops are just like, this is a civil matter. So, the lease is one of the most important things you can do to protect your investment, and any bank is going to require a lease or a lease and estoppel when you're purchasing the property. So on the back end, when you go to sell, you want to have it in place. And then that old school mentality, unfortunately, no longer works because of the new rent control laws. So the rent control laws that were recently passed, you have to provide ample notice no matter what. I think, a year is 30 days, 2 years is 60, 3 is 90, but that's even before you can file. So, and you still had to provide, your due diligence before when evicting. So you want to have a lease. You want to talk to your attorney about the lease, maybe talk to some other landlords, look at copies of their leases. I have a lot of landlords that I've worked with over the years that prefer to use their own copy, and for good reason, and have a lot of things outlined in their lease. If you want to talk about leases further or what should be included in your lease, give me a call, 315-350-0571, or check me out at www.procopiorealestate.com. Look forward to talking to you, and see you next week. Thanks.